What's up, everybody? My name's Chris Marshall with my boy, Frank G. We are the hosts of Build Your Empire podcast. Frank G, tell the people what we do.
What's going on, everybody? Chris and we discuss established empires while showcasing us building ours.
Now, on today's episode, on today's established empire, in which we're going to go over investments, legacy, career. It just makes sense that we do MJ Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, iconic figure.
And now, your starting guard from North Carolina,
Michael Jordan.
No, man. Yo, I tell you what, you got an announcer voice. Anyone ever tell you that?
I was thinking the same for you, man.
I don't know, man. I actually didn't follow through because I thought I was lacking there, and you really picked it up.
You set the stage for me, man. You certainly set the stage for me.
I guess that's what teammates do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. You're Steve Kerr, and I'm Scottie Pippen.
I'm Steve Kerr.
What? He's arguably he has the best career of all time.
Because of like the coaching successes as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
But outside of that, look, man, I mean, we all just watched this docuseries, 10 hours of raw, great footage.
Awesome
of Michael
footage.
Jordan. I mean, we spoke about this a month ago, but we wanted to take a little more in-depth look inside, his investments, how much he's actually worth, and just go through the debate, LeBron, Jordan, and let's see what we come up with, man. What did you dig up?
Well, it's crazy. So this man became a billionaire 15 years after he retired. He's worth $2.1 billion, currently the world's richest athlete. 2.1
billion. He is one of, I believe, 5 African Americans who are currently billionaires.
Yeah, and it's incredible. I mean, this guy, he hit the jackpot when he invested in basketball teams itself. But the Nike deal alone gives this guy millions and millions of dollars.
Of course. I think he bought the team for like $170 million. I think
$175 million,
and now in 2015, some 2014 maybe.
In 2014,
the franchise is valued 1.4.
Yeah, 1.4. I think rounded up to $1.5 billion. So this man bought a majority stake in 2010. And now this team has made him a billionaire.
And again, that team is the Charlotte Hornets. Keep in mind, the only reason he went to the Washington Wizards in 2003 to play one more year when he came out of retirement for the second time was because he wanted to own a basketball team.
Yeah, and I forget who, but there was another person who was really interested in the Hornets, and I think they were called the Bobcats then.
Correct.
Yeah, not only let's go back.
Actually,
way back.
They may be the Hornets before the Bobcats, and then I think they switched
changed
back.
Well, it was like the Pelicans too, or something like that.
That is correct as well. Yeah. I tell you, this team really needs to find an identity. Yeah.
Apparently, but in 2014, they made a hell of a lot of money.
Well, I think that's because the NBA in all was expanding globally faster than any other league currently. And that's with the current stars. The Olympics certainly helped it out with the Redeem team. And, of course, that's going to elevate the equity of every franchise.
Absolutely. It's just this man was set from the beginning destined for greatness. So in 1984, drafted first round, third pick, and he is already getting offered what is now one of the biggest, if not the most successful endorsements in the entire world by Nike.
Definitely. Tell you what, though, he did not make that much money as an athlete himself. He only made roughly $90 million in total,
yeah.
And $63 million of that came within the last 2 seasons of the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, and I think when he even played for the when he played again after retiring the second time, he donated his salary.
You don't need that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, to this day, Nike is making Jordan over $100 million a year
In royalties.
in royalties alone. In royalties alone, yeah.
He's just kicking back. So you know how they say to be a millionaire has about 7 streams of income?
Yeah, diversifying your income streams is successful.
Now, I think I have 3 or 4 income streams. They're not large, but I have about 3 or 4. The one that I always look at that is certainly the most difficult is royalties.
From like your stock market stuff?
No. I mean, a royalty is essentially you getting a check every week from something you created or something being licensed that you invented or someone bought you out, and that's a royalty. And the royalty check just comes to you every week without you doing absolutely nothing. So
You're saying that's the hardest to achieve, not
that's
the
the hardest stream
have.
of income for me to at least figure out.
Okay, but you don't have that yet, you're saying?
No. I
Yeah.
wish I did.
Yeah, of course. Then you could be sipping bourbon and smoking a cigar, gambling and playing golf like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, well, right now I'm drinking my Sauvignon Blanc, and I will smoke a cigar right after. So, I mean, we're similar. We're just not worth the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. So last week we went into Drake worth 170 million, and now we are speaking.
This guy's making it a year.
This guy is making that a year. It's insane.
What I found crazy is that he's making 100 million a year off royalties, and LeBron is making 60 million a year in comparison, with half of that coming from his NBA salary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where obviously the difference lies in the business aspects of everything. I mean, LeBron does his thing, but I mean, he didn't. I mean, Jordan struck gold. I mean, Nike was like fairly in business before they gave him. I mean, they were literally a running shoe that was not doing well. So this was like a 1 in a million, 1 in 2.1 billion chance. But Kobe, yeah. So Kobe and LeBron, I think, are the next 2 highest paid. Or rest in peace, Kobe. But I mean, he was 500 million. LeBron's about 450 million.
Well, I think when it's all said and done, LeBron is actually going to be worth more than what the numbers we're discussing now. But these numbers are absolutely amazing. Ridiculous, really. But also, when you think about it, how old is Jordan? Jordan, I think, is like
57.
I was going to say he's 57. And if he didn't become a billionaire until 5 years ago, it took him until he was 52 to be a billionaire. And LeBron is currently worth, and we're doing an episode on LeBron. LeBron, I think, is worth 600 million, and he's 35, 36.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's also, I mean, he's already been in the league longer. I mean, LeBron is very relevant. I mean, he's going to stay around. He's going to do big things for sure way after his career. I don't know. Who knows 2.1 billion? Very possible, but
well, I mean, if he has roughly a quarter of that,
yeah.
And
yeah,
also,
30.
I mean, he's clearly not going to get the amount of shoe sales as Jordan.
No.
I mean, I think it's amazing that his shoes are still so relevant today. I mean, sneakerheads paying double the price. I mean, I know plenty of them. Amazes me.
Yeah, and I was actually when I was kind of like doing some research on Jordan Nike deal, I started seeing how Nike was and Jordans were falling off a little bit in the 2000s, and then how they recollabed with celebrities and then retro Jordans. I mean, then that becomes like a whole episode on Nike, so it's like so much to really get into, but it's crazy. I mean, Jordan still also has endorsements. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's still endorsed by Hanes. His big one was Gatorade, Upper Deck. And that's how many years post retirement?
I mean, look, we're doing a show on him.
Yeah, I mean, this man seems to be the king of side hustles. I mean, the side hustle became his main hustle, I guess, after his career. But
which is amazing because it all stems from his career and it stems from his mindset, his mental, his attitude, his work ethic, his hunger, his just
Hmm.
love and passion. I mean, that alone tells you a whole story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just he donates to boys and girl clubs. I mean, he donates to Chicago high schools. So I mean, he's big on.
He's pretty yeah, he's big in philanthropy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and he's like he respected and loved his father so much that I feel like he loves the feeling of being there for other people. I mean, obviously he's had controversy in his career. I mean, not really crazy. I mean, gambling stuff, but I mean, he seems to be just
Look, I'm
a
with him.
great
Even in the
guy.
docuseries when he said, "Hey, like I don't have a problem. If I had a problem, like
It,
I would have a divorce or I wouldn't be able to pay my bills." I
well, he
mean,
was divorced once, which at the time became the biggest settlement in history.
well, Jeff Bezos owns that one now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Jeff Bezos divorced his wife, gives her half, and still becomes a trillionaire.
I don't, and yeah. So I mean, at the time, this was only 168 million, but like that's still,
Pennies. This guy's making this a year now.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy, I guess, the journey. I mean, and another, since we kind of speaking on investments, it seems like a lot of people in the sport world are getting into this, getting onto it. Or a lot of people who are just big, who are moving esports. I mean, I'm pretty
He did
sure
invest in the esports team.
$26 million in a group. He was leading the investments for Axiomatic Gaming. It's a startup company, and it deals with professional gaming like consoles and PC stuff. So 26 million investment on a team. I mean, this it's also ran by a lot of sport figures, people that own baseball teams,
That's
hockey
interesting
teams.
because I don't see him predicting the come up of esports. So he must have advisors,
100. Oh
obviously
yeah,
letting him know because I mean I believe esports is it's going to be bigger than most sports. It may be bigger than baseball at some point.
very well could be. I mean, it seems like it's a lot of people are pouring money into it. I forget now that it being a week ago, but we were speaking on someone who also did it recently. Who
Drake,
also, yeah, Drake. Hey, yeah, he was literally in esports as well. So
yeah, but Drake is actually like he plays the games in which the esports have leagues in.
yeah, 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 yeah.
He had a whole thing with Ninja.
Oh yeah, he played with Ninja. That's how like Ninja kind of helped his career a little bit. I mean, Ninja was on the rise, but just funny how some things fall in place like that.
It all falls in place. It's just a matter of time and just having this pursuit and vision, and everything comes together. But you do have to have a passion and a focus, and it comes down to MJ having that focus when he played the game.
Serious focus when playing the game to the point where if you didn't understand him and like practice or how he was, you would probably get offended. I mean, he was pushing you. He was pushing every single person around him. I mean, he wanted to win. And if you didn't want to win like him, then there was probably no room for you on that team. And I'm sure Phil Jackson would have agreed because he's Michael Jordan.
I don't know if that will work anymore in today's day.
Nah, it's so different. So I mean, he made the NBA as popular as it was or as
I
it
also don't know if he would have that leverage to act that way if he didn't win a bunch of times.
Yeah, I mean, no, I would agree with you. I mean, he left to play baseball, and the Chicago Bulls still held his contract and let it go. Like they continued the contract. He literally left baseball midseason and joined, or he joined back NBA's midseason or nearly over
In which
season.
he performed pretty well.
He said he performed well, but then he said like 17 months out of basketball, he got like a baseball body, and he had to completely like revamp himself. I mean, and he that coming back, they three-peated again. They three-peated twice in one decade. I mean, and
The
it's
guy wants to be known as the greatest of all time. I mean, he agreed to the docu-series after LeBron won the 2016 championship, in which LeBron said, "That's it, he's the GOAT."
Yeah.
So that in itself
Mhm.
is an interesting decision.
Well, I think the world wasn't, Michael Jordan wasn't as, I mean, he's still like one of the greatest, if not the greatest, but LeBron's relevant. So like this was to kind of be like, yeah, I'm still here.
Well, so this is what's interesting, right? The debate between LeBron and Jordan. So I'm a huge basketball fan. However, me and you were 28 years old, 1998. We were 7. I wasn't really following. I can't really say I saw Michael Jordan play. I don't remember any of it.
Mm.
But I did see Kobe and I did see LeBron. And I would say LeBron is the greatest of all time up until I guess this
The
docuseries comes out.
docu-series,
But
yeah, yeah.
even when I said LeBron is the greatest, I also hate that argument because it's a very subjective argument and it comes down to what storyline do you prefer?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's obviously stats, but I mean, regardless, before Michael Jordan, the Bulls were on like 3 terrible seasons in a row. When LeBron James leaves the Cavaliers, they lose 50 more games than they did the
Oh
season.
my God. I can't wait to do the episode on LeBron. But
Yeah,
LeBron instantly makes a team go to the finals. And that is amazing. And people hold the losses against him. I know LeBron or MJ had tough wins, tough teams he played against. It was a different era of
totally
basketball.
different game. Yeah, totally different game.
But I mean, look at his team compared to some of the LeBron teams. Granted, he had weight, but still.
Well, I mean, all he needed was, I mean, once Pippen came on, I mean, and Pippen was, he was becoming a star. I mean, that's when they won the first three-peat, and then they get Dennis Rodman for his second. I mean, yeah, he had great teams, but he also was MVP for how many years? Offensive scorer,
Oh yeah, he
defensive
crushed
player.
it before he even won his first title.
Yeah, and then he won MVP of the league and defensive player of the year in the same
And
year.
let's not forget, he defeated the Monstars.
He defeated the Monstars in 1996. I can't believe Space Jam came out that long ago.
I can't wait for the next one.
It's crazy how the debate is Michael and LeBron and who takes over, the NBA figure in the new Space Jam. It's just very interesting.
Well, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, because right on my computer screen, I'm looking at a pair of shoes, and they're the Nike Air Jordan 12s. Damn, they look good, man. I tell you, he was well in front of the game when it came to fashion.
Yeah, he like started one of the biggest trends. I mean, every season a new shoe would come out and they would be gone. They'd be sold out. There'd be 8-hour lines waiting. Then they would resale value. There was probably a time, and this might be no exaggeration, that people would be getting held up at gunpoint for your shoes on your feet.
That still probably occurs. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's just a straight businessman. He's a
Yeah,
businessman.
he is absolutely. I mean, even when he talks, you see him on his docu series. Even when he was playing, I think when Nike sponsored him, the league had a rule: white shoes only, and this was Jordans. I mean, they were white and red. So
Yeah,
so
Nike
he
kept
was
picking up the fines.
yeah, so he would get fined $5,000, and Nike's like, you know what? We'll pay for these fines because the exposure
Brilliant.
is completely worth it.
Brilliant. But what's interesting now is the NBA wouldn't allow that anymore.
Like breaking rules like that. You're saying?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
players break those rules with
it's much bigger fine too now.
I think I believe J.R. Smith
Yeah,
got a
with
Supreme tattoo.
yes, and he had to cover it.
Yeah, because you can't advertise
Yep, and
on the court.
I'm pretty sure he was getting like hit with a $20,000 fine every time.
I think he has a rightful argument there.
I would say so.
If it's
I mean,
tattooed to your body, you beat the loophole at that point.
I would think so.
He's tight right now, though.
Oh yeah.
Let's not to mention he's the dumbest player on earth.
the dumbest player on earth, and he can't make up for him. He can't make up for it. He can't make up for it right now. It's very sad.
Oh, it's so sad because you think of J.R. Smith and you just think, oh man, like you're kind of cool, but you are dumb, my friend.
Yeah, I was repping him like hard, and then I kind of like fell off, and I just remember because he's something. I know he's nasty, but like he's just stupid.
He's stupid. He's like the mad cool guy in high school
Yeah.
who's just dumb. He gets like all the hottest girls,
Yeah.
but once the girls realize, oh, he's dumb, they're out.
That's why maybe he's got the tattoos, man. It's all a look.
I mean, he's pretty badass, but he did win a ring, and MJ won 6. I mean, 6 for 6.
6 of
2
6. That's
3-peats.
crazy.
I mean,
In
that
one
storyline's
decade.
incredible.
In 1 decade.
Well, here's the thing, though. I was thinking about this. Kobe won 5 in a decade.
Kobe did win 5, actually. Yeah. Well, they had a 3-peat team. Yeah.
Yeah, he won 3 in the beginning of the decade and 2 to end it off.
It's true. That is very true.
Yeah, I mean, if this was Memory Lane Monday, I'll talk about how I kind of lost my virginity to Kobe beating Orlando Magic in 2009, and I was a Magic fan. So it was a win-loss for me. But
I feel like this story was brought up but not fully told.
yeah, maybe we'll tell the story on Monday. I don't think we have a guest on Monday. What's the time here?
21 minutes 30 seconds into the empire of Michael Jordan.
The empire of Michael Jordan. When you really, open the hood of the car here and you look in it, I mean, he's a pretty simple guy. I mean, he knows his values. He dominates at his skills and talents, and he doesn't even have that many investments in business ventures. He just dominated those as well.
He's dominated every one. Yeah.
And no one on earth smokes a bigger cigar than that guy.
Oh, man, it makes me jealous every time I see him.
The Churchill.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Yeah, well, you're Michael Jordan. You're worth $2.1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well smoke one of the most expensive cigars out, probably wrapped in gold.
Not only that, but most athletes are probably not smoking cigars because it probably does affect their lung capacity. This guy was smoking them daily.
Yeah, he was smoking them in the docuseries after a game. I mean, Cam Newton smokes them. I know that. He's a big advocator on them.
Well, everybody's got their vice. Michael Jordan, cigars, and gambling.
And, I mean, I know he likes his bourbon or his whiskey.
That makes sense. You know what I like?
Ciroc and Sauvignon.
I like Ciroc and Sauvignon.
Yeah, I mean, I sure would love to be similar. Hopefully my business ventures can take me to Michael Jordan level of making $34,000 an hour in 2019.
With that being said, let's hope we can make $34,000 an hour. That's like what the average American makes in a year.
Yeah, the breakdown was crazy. I mean, I was doing like a whole breakdown of his when we spend $1, it's like Michael Jordan spending $21,000. It's crazy. But
wow,
yeah,
you really did go through the breakdown then.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, man. So that being said, this man clearly diversified his income, diversify your income streams, and it could potentially be a massive payout.
Well, I myself, you know me for about a decade, and I have never not wore Jordans until the next.
Yeezys?
Yeah, until the next fucking African American billionaire came along selling shoes.
Unless your boy gave you some Ferragamos.
That's different.
Yeah.
Those are dress shoes.
Yeah, you got a couple sneaker, or maybe a sneaker.
That's true. I like the color red, though.
Yeah.
In which Jordan's red, the royal red, I don't know, I think that's what it's called. It's probably the best color out there.
Best color in the world.
Oh, you agree? I didn't think you'd agree.
No, I'm not agreeing. I was asking, like, if that's what you mean.
Oh.
No, well, I certainly don't agree.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean if I thought you agreed.
Yeah, I know that. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, Michael Jordan, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
The Empire of Michael Jordan.